Hello, my name is Justin Decloux, and I'm here today with
Will Sloan.
And you're listening to the Important Cinema Club. And we continue Nothing But Laughs November worldwide with an episode on South Korean superstar Shim Hyung-rae.
Yes, and just to reiterate the premise of this month, every week this month we're doing a comedian who is hugely popular in their homeland, maybe even popular internationally, but never quite crossed over into America.
And in the case of this week's subject, never crossed over into North America. Except for his non-comedic movies. Oh, sorry.
Except.
Okay, we'll get to that. Let's save up to that. Because this is the weird thing about Shim Hyung-rae, is that he, out of all the people we're talking about, may have one of the most, not high profile and that people cared, but like such a baffling attempt at a legitimate English language film so late into his popularity.
We'll talk about the movie later, but I just want to set up like what our context for this guy is and why we wanted to do him. He is hugely famous in South Korea.
Hugely famous.
In 2008, I believe it was, a movie was released in North America called D-Wars, Dragon Wars, which stars Robert Forster, several other slumming American stars.
It played theatrically in North America.
It played wide. One of the most expensive Korean movies of all time.
Made a lot of money, I think. Mm-hmm. Not good.
And it was very badly received here. Mm-hmm. But nevertheless, and there was one of those movies, every now and then a movie opens where it gets a 2000 screen release. A movie like, I don't know, Uwe Boll's Blood Rain, or just one of these movies that comes along where you're like, how'd that get such a wide release? What the hell is this?
What weird tax loophole is going on here?
So that was that. And apparently it was directed by this man named Shim Hyung-rae, who is a huge comedian in South Korea. And then 2 years later, in 2010, a movie comes along, and I remember seeing...
Did you not hunt this movie down?
So I was going to go see this in a theater, but it only played a week here.
So I saw the trailer for the movie. It's called The Last Godfather.
And I saw ads for it in the newspapers.
And I was so baffled. I remember me and my friends watching the trailers over and over again, because we could not believe this movie, which is basically Shim Hyung-rae, who at the time was in his 50s. He looks 70 years old in this film. Playing his very famous character, Yonge.
That's right.
Which
we didn't know that.
We didn't know that. Who seemingly, he played this character his entire career. Yeah. Like in the films that we watch, I think it's always Yonge, basically.
Yeah, Chaplin had the little tramp, and he has Yonge.
And so he makes his English language debut with a cavalcade of stars.
Yeah, a movie comes along, okay? There are ads for it in the newspaper. It gets a 50-screen release in North America. So
that's way too much.
It's both not much and way too much. So whoever was distributing this movie knew what they had on their hands. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, we're giving you the contractually least amount of screens we can give you. It stars Jason Mewes, John Polito.
Michael Rispoli is in this as well, a major role.
The comedian John Pinette is here. And then, top build, Mr. Harvey Keitel. And then second build, Shim Hyung-rae. And it's called The Last Godfather. It is a mob movie parody. It came out, had the scent of doom all over it.
We got to save it for the end of the episode.
Yeah. And so I wanted to see this movie, but again, it just didn't play long enough. I didn't get to it. And I heard the Flophouse episode about it.
Yeah. I had seen it before then, of course.
Satisfied my curiosity for a long time.
There's nothing like it. We'll get to it. Let's go back. Now, out of all the subjects we've ever done for this podcast, I think there is the least amount of information about this subject in English.
And I'm surprised about this because I thought that when The Last Godfather came out, whenever
you thought there'd be like The Last Godfather or like articles written about it.
Exactly, because every time, this is not the first time this has happened, when some hugely famous international guy makes their bid for mainstream crossover success in America.
A Robert Benigni, if you will.
Roberto.
Roberto. Our friends call him Robert. Benigni.
Rob, as I call him.
As the Pope likes to call him when he recently said his 4 favorite films. Life is Beautiful was on that list.
Yeah, I thought that there'd be like, I don't know, some LA Times article, some Village Voice article from 15 years ago that's like, hey, here's this really famous Korean comedian. He's making a movie here. No,
But I think it's because the movies that he made were not available at all in any form.
Yeah, well, and also whoever distributed The Last Godfather, if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, there were only 2 reviews from critics. So it did not get press screened. It was not taken seriously at all. This movie just escaped, basically. So there was no, he didn't get a Yahoo Serious or Paul Hogan style rollout here, or Roberto Benigni for that matter.
Now, what's surprising about his film output is that it doesn't have a bigger cult audience around it, because this is cult, film fan stuff. The majority of his films are filled with monsters, kaiju, like that's the things that he likes and makes money.
There are space people in the movies.
Yeah.
There are monsters.
Yep. Super goofy, but you will not find them unless you search YouTube the Korean name. That's the only way you'll find the full movie.
And of his 90 plus movies, very few of them have subtitles. I don't know, Justin, where you even got the files for this.
They were not good, yes.
Should we, in our Discord?
Yeah, I can share them.
Yeah, because I think people deserve to follow along to this. That's our Patreon, folks.
Patreon.com/The Important Cinema Club. But if you look on YouTube, these films have 800,000 views. They're popular in their home country. So even before we start talking about the films themselves, let's talk about what we got out of the comedic persona of this week's subject.
Okay, yeah. And then we'll fill in what background we have. What's a word I can use that's not the obvious?
Correct.
That's not the obvious word.
Or 2 words.
He's a simple Jack,
He's
folks.
a simple Jack, yes.
He's simple Jack.
So, okay, let's try to create a visual image in the mind. What is the difference between him and Jerry Lewis? Because I feel like Jerry Lewis would be the point of comparison that you would do between both of them.
Yeah, so they're both very wacky.
Yes.
They're both man-children.
Yes. I think that Shim Hyung-rae, though, in the movies, he is portrayed as a Robin Williams Jack.
He's a literal child
Yes.
in the films,
Yes.
which I didn't quite... and it's ambiguous from film to film.
Yes.
To what extent he's a child.
He seems to get dumber as the films go, because by the time we get to Last Godfather... He cannot communicate.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand the world.
I thought, is this a sort of village idiot type?
Mm-hmm. He wears overalls a lot.
Yeah.
He wears a cap flipped
He's a
up.
kind of Sammo Hung in Heart of Dragon type, but no, he's actually a literal child in these films.
Do they treat him as a child? They don't really talk about him. Is he like a Clifford, for example?
He's a Clifford, basically, in most of them, yeah.
Because there's
but
never
he gets bullied by the other children.
Yeah, there's never a look at this old guy that's with us.
And then how can I explain his affect? It's
D-U-H is how I would say.
Yeah, it's
And what's surprising watching all these early films is that there's not much comedic game for him to play.
Okay, so yeah, you were talking about Jerry Lewis again, and one of the things that people used to sometimes say about Jerry Lewis is, oh, he's doing a cruel caricature of a disabled person or something. He's like a spastic child or something. Yeah. The thing is, there's much more plausible deniability with Jerry than there is this guy. this guy really is doing that.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
But the movies ask the question, what if he could be cool as well?
These movies...
So let's start with the first one. Now there's no list for me to pick of what are the famous ones.
Okay, actually,
if you go by popularity, it's all over the place.
Before we get to the first movie, can I just fill in his background a little more?
Bit, yeah.
So Shim Hyung-rae was born in 1958, and I'm going to tell you what I got on real Wikipedia, and then what I got on
South Korean Wikipedia.
Which is real, of course, but it's been translated. On our Western Wikipedia, we learned that in 1982, he got a job on the Korean broadcasting system as a comedian. He became famous through TV, and then, he just worked his way up.
With his Yonge character.
That's right.
That he kept doing over and over again.
He made something like, 90 films. Eventually he became a director. There's something kind of like Stephen Chow-ish in his trajectory.
Or Jerry Lewis-like.
Yeah. The fact that he became this total filmmaker. And then in the 2000s, or actually the late 90s, his ambitions become much greater. He's not just a comedian, but he's also a mogul. He directs a movie called Yonge, which is a remake of a 60s or 70s kaiju film. The first, that
South
film.
Korean film. Yeah. Kaiju film.
Yeah. South Korea's most famous kaiju film.
Vinegar Syndrome just put it out on Blu-ray.
Well, he made a remake of it in 1998 or 9.
Oh, why would he make it around that time?
That's right, because the American Godzilla with Matthew Broderick had just come out. And it was the most expensive movie ever made in South Korea. It was a hit in South Korea, and it's shit by all accounts.
It's so bad. So it was released in America under the title, was it Reptilian? Yeah, that's what it was called.
That's right. And it would haunt video stores.
There's a great line in it where he's like, compared to this guy, Godzilla's a pussy.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers that.
Yeah.
It has some of the worst performances you have ever seen in any giant monster movie ever.
But nevertheless, it was successful. And then he made D-Wars, Dragon Wars.
Hyung-rae in that movie, too, is like so buff. Like the CGI model of the monster is all like muscular. So he makes this movie, huge hit, D-Wars later on. So does he like these kind of movies?
Well,
I get the feeling he does.
I think so.
Yeah.
I get the sense he's not somebody with a lot of taste. Okay, so here's what I got on South Korean Wikipedia page, and this is just very roughly translated from the South Korean original. The fool of the legend of the gag and film world. So I like that.
Yeah.
The former means that it is a legendary theater, which is a legendary act of stupid acting. That must be a word in South Korea, stupid acting.
Yes.
Shim Hyung-rae was so popular that it was impossible to refute the words of the best comedians of all time. As children born in the 21st century, even though they knew Shim Hyung-rae as a comedian. As a movie star, his talents were fine. I think from that, what you get is he was a popular comedian.
So I posted a clip recently on Twitter, and someone from South Korea commented, I don't like this movie. It's scary, but I loved him when he was on TV.
Okay, there you go.
So, like, he's
They
very
grew up
well
with him.
known on television.
And,
yeah.
But then the South Korean Wikipedia page goes on, and this is really important. It says, but as a film director, he is worst. Excessive obsession with blockbuster movies, old patriotic marketing. In addition to the cultural code that does not fit the times, the media play appealing to emotions, the severe lack of knowledge of the cultural and art contents, including film and film production technology, and the severe lack of the concept. So from that, I think you could get the general sense. I'm translating that now to English.
Yes.
What that means is he's a bad director, can't work within his means, has no taste. Is terrible.
Undeniable watching the movies that he's made.
Yeah.
D-Wars is bad. Like, it's not even fun.
Yeah.
Man, that was
crazy.
a dollar bin, like, there's another copy of D-Wars they're trying to sell off on us. But how about as a comedian, though? We've talked about him as a filmmaker.
Oh, well, I think one of the things that we're looking for in International Month is we're interested in these guys who couldn't really travel, by which I mean their sensibilities, like, were just foreign to our Western tastes, you know?
So, like, we watched 1986 Thunderhawk from Outer Space. Now, I would have liked to watch, like, if you look at his letterbox, there's, like, let's say Chaplin-esque posters of, like, where he's not, like, a fantasy character. And I'm scared because, like, it looks like the Yonge films as well.
I encourage anyone to go look at his letterbox page, look at what these posters look like, because some of them look amazing.
Yes. And I will say, they are not lying on these posters. So the one
all that stuff is in
the
these
movies.
Yeah.
So we watched Thunderhawk from Outer Space from 1986. Now, this movie starts, and a big smile comes to my face because it's doing something I've only seen in South Korea films, where they mix just 2D animation with live action footage, and no one reacts to it. It's just like
it's like
it's like if a spaceship, you just cut to an animated spaceship flying around on an animated background.
yeah, it's as if they're saying, like, we can't create a convincing special effect of this.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do even better, we're just gonna turn it into a cartoon.
Yeah, animation.
And it just freely goes from live action to animation just because that's what it can afford for the spectacular action scenes.
Love it.
And I love it too.
Now, I was watching and I was like, are they recycling this from something else? Because, like, the Joseph Lai, I don't know if you've seen them, the, like, South Korean super edits of the animation and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. It's like Thunderbolt, Magic Wizard, etc. It's like they steal from a bunch of different sources, but this seems made for these movies. And because you see some of the characters, like, pasted on almost South Park style sometimes, reacting to things.
That's right. Now, Thunderhawk from Outer Space from 1986.
Number one of around an 8-film series.
Yeah.
That's how popular it was.
And he doesn't play Yongu in this one. But he
basically
for
is
all
Yonge.
intents and purposes, he's Yongu. I think his character's name is like Emerson or something. At least that's what the subtitle said.
So he is Esperman.
Esperman, that's what it is.
Is
that's the superhero.
A simple man
A simple Jack, if you will.
that on a camping trip meets a space princess. And here's the thing about this movie. Once the crazy nonsense starts, it just never stops.
Well, this movie is two questionable tastes that taste questionably together.
Yes.
Because, it starts, he's on a camping trip, he's with his family.
Yeah.
He's one of two children in this family.
Yes. I think
The other one is another child.
the barrier to this movie of people getting into it is, like, if you watch the first 30 minutes, you got nothing really.
Yeah,
Other than the
it's
quick
just
stuff at the beginning.
First 30 minutes is just an awful comedy.
Yes.
Just a terrible, terrible comedy.
There is, and I say this all the time, and people always get on my back. Will, can you agree with me here? There's very few jokes in this movie.
Yeah.
It's mostly just like his vibe
Yeah.
of acting like a child. And that's what you would laugh at.
Absolutely. Now, there's a lot of stuff I like in this movie.
Yes, because once you get to the second half, suddenly aliens show up and our simple Jack, if you will, turns into a superhero. And when he turns into a superhero, no more jokes. There's no parody. There's no satire.
It goes back and forth a little bit.
It does.
Because Yonge, let's just say it's Yonge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yonge is out in the woods on this camping trip and he gets abducted by space aliens. He gets put onto this ship. He gets turned into a superhero.
Yes.
So they put some lasers on him and they turn him into a superhero.
But it's not like a Shazam situation where he's like, oh, I'm a big silly superhero. It's just, I'm a straight superhero now.
That's right.
Played
No
by the
jokes.
same actor.
And there's a video message like Jor-El style of this guy from a distant planet who's like, a criminal from our planet has come to yours because him and some other criminals want to take over the world.
Yeah.
And you have to be here with my daughter to stop it. And his daughter is dressed in like thrift store space alien outfits. He's in a thrift store space alien outfit.
Here's what they figured out what they could do in this. They can put their arms out and lasers will shoot out of them.
Yes.
You are going to see this hundreds of times in this movie. Now, with that in mind, there's a fight scene that breaks out 40 minutes into this movie. I have never seen anything like this. Wire work that I'm watching, I'm like, these people died doing this, where they're just flipping and turning upside down in one long take 100 times.
Yeah, so I've rarely seen a movie that's such a mix of like horrible, terrible filmmaking.
Do you know what it feels like? Ray Dennis Steckler.
Yeah, actually.
That kind of like
Rat Finka Boo Boo.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is, where suddenly it turns into something completely different.
Yeah.
And like the last 40 minutes, there's a little bit more Yonge material, but once he turns a superhero, it's just like them shooting lasers, big adventure, and an ending that was so jarring, I had to rewind and be like, did I see that correctly? Where suddenly the space princess dies, and our hero's like, no! And then it just silently goes to credits.
I had to rewind just to get the basics of the plot where it's like, wait, is he playing a dual role? That like no, he gets turned into a superhero and then he's a silly child again.
But then there's animated robots that are fighting, all the stuff that we like.
I mean, yeah, on balance, I definitely enjoy this movie. I'm struck with just confusion and a confused admiration for this odd mix of a film.
And also, it's so popular in South Korea, but it's no one has ever, except for a guy, he edited 2 of the movies together. It's actually on the actor's letterbox, even though it's not a real movie. It's like Shaolin versus Frankenstein or something like that. Like, it's a fake movie. That's the only kind of, attempt I've seen of getting Shim Hyung-rae's stuff to a cult audience.
Do you think that there's like a psychotronic fan base that's waiting for something like this?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no contest.
The second one we watched is from 1989. It's called Yonge and Dang Chili.
Yes. So maybe if it was like Vampire Attack, more people would watch it.
Yeah.
And I picked this one because there's multiple sequels to it. Now, this is this is a really easy sell. The way I would describe it is, this is for the real fans that listen here. Like, Sammy Petrillo runs into a Mexican monster movie.
That's
exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
And now we're going to try to explain what that means.
Yes.
So I was on board with this movie in the first 10 seconds. Some people are gathered around. They're like, where's Yonge? And then
Doors open.
Doors open. Yonge with his big dumb face. And he's got like one of his teeth blacked out.
Yeah.
Like so fake looking. He's got some freckles literally drawn on his face. And yeah, he goes, no.
Freeze frame. Boing.
Opening credits.
Yes.
Oh, and what does he look like?
I mean,
A little fat.
yeah,
he's
he's chubby. He like the teeth missing, blacked out, is something that he still does to this day.
So
I
stupid.
saw photos. There's a really popular Korean game show called Running Man, and he was on one of the episodes, and he looked like his Yonge character. It's like he doesn't have another persona really on these things, to my knowledge.
Well, the superhero in the last movie.
superhero.
Yeah.
And in this one, the plot is more convoluted. We maybe not have gotten it super clearly.
Well, yeah, it is convoluted, but also it's I think simpler than it may appear because
Yes,
it's a series of set pieces.
Our hero just stumbles onto a haunted house filled with fog.
Well, yeah, for the first half of the movie, he's being picked on by the other kids. Okay, after the credits, the first scene we see him, he's like skinny dipping with a bunch of children.
Naked.
They're all naked. And I thought, what file did Justin send me?
Different cultures, Will.
But they're all, they all make fun of him. They're all being mean to him. And this is when I'm thinking like, okay, is he an adult with like issues?
Yeah.
But no, I think he's a child.
Is he like a House of D, for example?
You're just gonna say all the. Is he an I am Sam?
Yeah, really.
We getting closer to the word.
The cover of this, it rules. It's a painted cover of him like sticking his tongue out, and his hands are like
Making a face that is undeniable.
Big haunted mansion covered in like colored gel lighting.
And this happens. He only gets to this haunted mansion more than halfway through, right?
Yes, but once you get to the haunted mansion, it's just haunted mansion for the rest. And you got everyone. Dracula's there, little hopping vampire, Frankenstein's monster is a werewolf too.
I believe he's just called Frankenstein here because that's what kind of movie this is.
Now,
it's a movie where Yonge goes to a haunted house and a Frankenstein.
I had to rewind it at one point because he's chatting with kids. And then it cuts to a man's face that transforms into a werewolf. And I was like, is that Yonge transforming into a werewolf? Is there a weird edit that's missing? No, that's just how this movie works.
Yeah, so, eventually the plot progresses where he saves the village and he's...
Yeah, well, there's like a monk that comes and helps him.
I mean, for God's sakes, there's a Frankenstein and a Dracula in this village.
Yes.
Like, we need a hero.
Did you laugh at how the Frankenstein walks? Where he's like, oh.
He walks so much like a Frankenstein. It's crazy. And the Dracula shoots lasers out of his fingers as Dracula does.
There's a little bit of martial arts sloppily done. And because I discovered the director of this film directed a lot of South Korean Bruceploitation.
Yeah, it's from the auteur behind the clones of Bruce Lee, as well as
Blazing Ninja,
Bruce and Shaolin Kung Fu Part 2,
Return of a Red Tiger,
and then many other films that nobody has ever seen or will ever see.
Because Yonge and Deng Chili, which has 51 logs, is on the second row on Letterboxd, and there's multiple rows after that. He seemed to have been a Frank Tashlin of this director.
Oh, yeah.
Because he directed a lot of his films.
So my question, I guess, we both enjoyed this movie,
yes.
Yonge and Dang Chili, because it's got all the stuff we like. Is this good filmmaking?
No.
Okay.
No, undeniably.
No, yeah.
It's kind of like... and it's not shot on VHS, but it has that shot on VHS aesthetic, like an SOV aesthetic.
Would you agree that Jerry Lewis is funnier than Yonge here?
Yes, absolutely. No contest.
Because there's a lot more richness to that character. There's more like internal logic, There's
more games Jerry Lewis is playing as well.
Yeah.
While to my eyes, watching this film, Yonge doesn't really have that many games. There's one scene that made me laugh out loud where he farts on his hand and then gets Dracula to sniff it.
That's iconic. Yep. There's another scene where his ass is being paddled by this guy, okay? He's being disciplined and his ass is being paddled and he seems to be enjoying it so much. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, that's strange. The man who's disciplining him leaves the room. He pulls down his pants. You see his ass, and it's like, whoa, why is he showing us his ass? But then he pulls it off. It's a fake ass.
Yeah.
He's outsmarted the guy.
Good joke.
He got paddled in his fake ass. So that's the kind of comedy we're talking about here. That's the level of humor.
But again, I think that there is a cult audience that is ready and willing to watch this stuff.
Yeah, it's me. You know, I was enjoying this.
But also like fans of Mexican wrestling pictures, as well as people that want that it's so bad it's good vibe to it.
Yes, and it's got a little bit of that like Asian psychotronic quality to it.
A little bit, a lot of it.
There's some good like martial arts stuff in the last 10 minutes of this. You know?
That comes out of nowhere. That's the thing about these movies is that while Hong Kong films have more of a consistent kind of entertainment value, this one will have the last 30 minutes just be like another one of the films that I watched, a kaiju film that's played straight for the rest of it. And that would be, as a credit on Letterboxd, Yonge and Princess Zuzu, which was coincidentally released the same year as Jurassic Park.
So this is, I saw a clip that you posted of this. Yes. This is a dinosaur film?
Yeah, basically Yonge discovers an egg, and this one was in the first 5 minutes. Okay. He discovers the egg, it hatches, and he becomes friends with a little dinosaur. Unfortunately, it turns into a Gorgo situation where Mommy Dino, for the last 40 minutes of the movie, just destroys South Korea. And Yonge disappears from the film so we can watch some sloppy-ish footage of this big dinosaur crushing houses, or in the clip that I posted, melt people's faces like it's Indiana Jones. So a lot to enjoy there. Again, the real heads have discovered this film because Tars Tarkas, a guy that I know that's like knows all these films, he knew these ones and he commented on this being like, oh yeah, these are the South Korean films. These were tape traded in the 90s, but they never really made it into the digital realm where they could get shared a lot. That's what we want to do. We want to get these films out there. Get them proper subtitles.
Absolutely.
Get those $70 Vinegar Syndrome releases out in the world.
Do you think Shim Hyung-rae keeps track of all those 35mm negatives?
Oh, do they have like an archive? Like,
Because, some of those Taiwanese movies we love so much, it's like they've just been very poorly preserved. That's an important facet of
considering
this.
a lot of the copies online are like TV rips, maybe not. But I did see one clip where there was remastered footage. It was like an essay film someone made on it. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but there was like remastered footage from his earlier film.
An
So maybe they
essay
exist.
film like Night and Fog.
Yeah, exactly like Night and Fog.
So
But no, the thing is though, Korean Film Archive has never put any of his movies, to my knowledge, out on their YouTube page.
yeah, they're like,
No,
you must
radioactive.
never look at this. In fact, you must burn it because it will haunt you in
For
your
someone
home.
with a lot of money, hopefully they get out there. One of the other films that does get shared a little bit is Tyranno's Claw from 1994, which is not a full-on comedy. It's a caveman film. To my knowledge, I haven't seen it in a long time. Has no dialogue in it. And that's why like people have shared it. And it's just like odd, where it's like caveman fight dinosaurs, which are big guys in suits. Again, it comes out in 1994. Building off some movie that there's a park and it's Jurassic maybe at the time.
Too many levels.
All right, let's talk about the funniest movie we're talking about today.
Well, The Last Godfather, which,
2010. Now, he had not been Yonge in a movie in a long time when Last Godfather came out.
Now, is this him cashing his chips? Because he
Yes.
just had D-Wars, which I guess did well enough in America, probably on video especially, that he was like, okay, it's time for Yonge to cross over.
Yeah. So the last time he played Yonge, so Grandma Cop from 1994.
Sounds great.
He's credited as Grandma Cop.
That's his character.
That's his character. There's another film that came out in 1994. It has no English title. He's on the cover making a funny face, and there's a big monster in the background.
Sounds good.
Yeah, no logs at all. So that was the last time he played Yonge. So he let this percolate, like a Mike Myers, if you will,
Yeah.
until 2010.
So imagine Jerry Lewis was like, I'm going to have my big crossover to the world. They're going to see me for the first time, and it's hardly working.
Yes. I mean, is this hardly working?
Well, he looks like Jerry and hardly
Yes.
working. He's so old.
So what is the premise of this film?
Okay.
Okay,
They waste no time.
So I looked. Do you know who shot this?
Who?
Mark Irwin, who shot all of David Cronenberg's early films, but then became the like sellout. Well, you want me to light a comedy? Sure. So he did like Dumb and Dumber.
Oh.
He did like the Farley Brothers.
Well,
film.
this is the trajectory of every cinematographer, and I'm sorry that he had to do. I would love to. Is he alive? I would love to.
Yeah, to interview him about The Last Godfather.
Specifically.
Where's our oral history of The Last Godfather?
He'd be like, "Don't you want to talk about The Fly?"
no.
He also shot Scream. How about that?
Yep.
Well. Anyway, so it begins, and then
It begins.
there's a second scene.
Yeah, settle up, because there's a lot of information to take in. Now, this film,
The opening credits.
I want to be clear here. 2010.
Yeah.
2010, and it's a Godfather parody.
So the opening credits just play to like generic historic photos of the mafia.
Yeah.
Just to sell you.
do 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 do.
Oh, I thought you were doing the Godfather theme.
No.
But no, it was another 70s classic.
Yes, the Sting.
So Harvey Keitel is, Don whatever.
Yeah,
He's
Don doesn't get up out of his chair.
Yeah, he's the head of the mafia.
Do you think Martin Scorsese's seen this film?
No. I don't.
I would love.
I remember seeing the Yonge films when I was just an asthmatic child in the Lower East Side.
The colors.
The images, the images were so expressive. Don Carini is the character's name, played by Harvey Keitel. He's surrounded by his yes men, and he's in Marlon Brando's office from The Godfather, basically. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. He's in that office.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I'm about to retire.
everybody's like, who are you gonna pass on your legacy to, because you have no heirs? And he says, well, actually I do have an heir. Many years ago I was in Korea and I met a woman and we had a child and I had to give up my child. His name is Yonge. And then it cuts to a cab is arriving in New York. And by the way, this movie is set in like Dick Tracy times.
It's not present day.
Yeah.
It took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah. So they're all dressed.
Yes.
They're all dressed in classic mob style.
Okay. One of the funniest things in this movie is how often people go, Yonge!
So the amount of setup for Yonge is about the same as the average Three Stooges short, where it's like any Three Stooges short where it's like, where are those three plumbers I hired? That's about as much setup as you get for Yonge here. Yonge comes on a cab And here he is. He's Mr. Wacky. He's wacky from frame 1 to the end. Harvey Keitel is like, it's my son, Yonge. Oh, Dad.
Now, Young-gu, we got to be clear here, looks so old.
The fact that yeah.
Do you think he saw that as a joke, though?
No, I don't. Because the fact that he's Harvey Keitel's son, they could have switched roles and it would have looked exactly the same. Harvey Keitel could have been his son. It's fine. What can I tell you about the comedy of this film? There's a scene.
Have you seen a film that stars perhaps a little tramp?
Oh, yeah.
Because he does the
hat thing.
Yeah.
But there's a scene early on when he's in the park. And for some reason, somebody in the park is selling like lingerie and women's undergarments just like on a stand in the park. And Yonge picks up like some bloomers basically. And he starts like, for some reason, putting them over his pants.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm going to put these over my pants."
He does not say that.
He does not say
he
that.
Probably
He
says,
just does
oh.
Yeah. And then a fight scene breaks out, but his knees are really close together because he's got these bloomers on them and he starts fighting. And I'm just sitting there thinking, why is he putting on these women's underwear?
Okay, but is this film funny? I think it's undeniably funny.
I was grinning. I was laughing.
Now, are there scenes that made you genuinely laugh?
There's one.
I think of the scene where they're practicing fighting and he has to catch the stick.
Oh, yeah.
And he keeps smacking.
Okay, that didn't make me. I mean, I was. Well, I guess this is the thing. It's like if
you're laughing,
if I'm laughing,
yeah.
And I was laughing all the way through.
Are you talking about the Jason Mewes scene where
the scene at the very end with Jason Mewes?
Yeah. So Jason Mewes plays a straight man.
Okay. Yeah. So the plot, such as it is a factional dispute between two rival mafia families. One is led by Harvey Keitel. The other is led by John Polito, giving a full Coen Brothers performance.
Yep.
And his second in command is Jason Mewes.
Do you think John Polito...
Jason Mewes, of all people.
Do you think John Polito looked over at Harvey Keitel? He's like, that guy's not even trying.
Yeah.
I'm acting here.
Jason Mewes, who's wearing like, a full-on like 30s gangster suit. It's like, did Shim Hyung-rae just be like, get me an actor from the New Jersey area? And they were like, Jason Mewes. But anyway, Jason Mewes, I think, works hard.
Now,
he doesn't.
Has Kevin Smith seen this film?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
He probably drove him to the set.
Michael Rispoli is in this film.
Yeah.
He gives a real performance, which is very weird. He's like, Yonge-gu, how could you do this to me?
Well, most of the movie is like Harvey Keitel kind of drifts in and out.
Yes.
For the most part, he is sitting down.
Yeah.
Every now and then he stands. But for the most part, it's like the henchmen played by like John Pinette or various henchmen are just like, all right, Yonge-gu, you've got to learn how to fight.
Here, whatever you do, don't do this wrong. He's like, oh.
So like there's a scene where they're like, okay, we're going to put dynamite in this restaurant.
Don't blow it up.
Don't blow it up while we're in there. And he blows it up. And then the next shot is them at Harvey Keitel's desk and the two guys looking like cartoons that just got blown up.
They're all covered in black and they're smoking.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could give you the obvious critique of why this movie isn't funny from a certain angle where it's like there's no internal logic to any of this.
Yes.
It's not grounded in anything.
Did you not laugh at the scene where Yonge-gu finally decides to be a tough guy, but in the process he invents the Big Mac and he invents the mini skirt?
The scene where he invents the Big Mac is the most baffling thing, where it's like he goes into this diner and he just starts grabbing meat and grabbing ingredients and throwing them onto each other. And then the owner of the diner is like, this tastes pretty good. Yeah. I'll call it the Big Mac.
No. It's because later on they go, you got a name for this? A guy in the restaurant's like, this is a great burger. And then Yonge-gu goes, Big Mac, because I guess the guy's name is Mac. And he goes, I'll call it the Big Mac.
That's right.
I mean, I'm laughing.
Yeah, but like, are you laughing at how unfunny it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
But a laugh's a laugh.
A laugh's a laugh. I mean, do you feel affection for Yonge-gu when you watch these? Because I think
that's a good question.
Part of what's funny about this movie is that this guy who is so arrogant.
Yes.
So arrogant was like, I can just make the stupidest, worst movie of all time.
And I'm paying people to just do it around me.
Yeah.
It's like a Make-A-Wish film.
It's a vanity project.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, they'll love this here.
They love me in South Korea. Why wouldn't they love me here?
Yeah. But I don't know. It's like, I kind of like him when he's on screen. He's, you don't?
Well, I like the fact that he's on screen. That's making me laugh.
I think... Yeah, that's more precise.
But the character in the South Korean films, not that funny.
No.
Because I'm not really laughing at his antics.
You're right. The South Korean films, which I like more than this,
Yes,
they've
made me laugh
They've
less.
just got a lot of stuff
But they have a lot of psychotronic stuff. That's what's fun
Yeah.
about them. If we were watching straight comedies that starred Young-gu, that would be rough.
So the scene in this movie, The Last Godfather, that actually made me laugh
Yes.
is it's the final showdown. I'm just going to spoil this.
Yeah.
It's the final showdown with Jason Mewes, who basically becomes the big bad by the end of the film. And Jason Mewes is like, all right, we're going to do...
We're going to count down.
So
we're
we're
going to count down to 5. When I say 5, you fire. And then Young-gu
shoots
fire.
him. He shoots him. It's like, what the hell? It's like, you said 5.
And he's like, I didn't say 5. He shoots him again and it happens like 4 times.
That's funny.
That's funny. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And
so-
Jason Mewes dies.
But more typical is a scene where like Young-gu is a love interest in this. Like a young
Who's
American
in her
woman.
early 20s.
Yeah. Okay.
And she's like, Young-gu just has a good heart.
Yeah, the chemistry between them is off the charts.
There's interviews here. Her, Mark Irwin,
I want to hear everyone's
Jason
testimony
Mewes,
because
Kevin Smith.
yeah, why not? Let's
Yeah.
get the full testimony. But no, a typical comedy scene in this is she's in the car with him and she's like, Young-gu, you wouldn't hurt a fly. And little does she know there's a fly that's in the
Oh, yeah,
car.
and Young-gu tries to get it. But in the process, he falls on top of her, and it looks like they're having sex.
And so the mobsters, including Jason Mewes from the other car, are like,
Oh, my God.
look at him have sex. Basically.
I mean, I'm laughing. Laugh. And we should be clear, every scene goes on so long.
Yeah, this
it's like
is-
101 minutes.
I mean, in the parlance of the Flophouse, this is what's called a good bad movie.
Yes,
you
that's
know.
right. Would we recommend all the films that we talked about this?
Yes, hard yes.
Hard yes.
I mean, I would love to see if anyone knows, and this is, I'm reaching out to our South Korean listeners, if we have anyone from the diaspora.
Will people be angry with us? They're like, you just don't get it.
I'm open to believing that's probably true.
Okay, yeah. They're like,
No, I'm not. What am I saying?
They're
No,
like, he's-
I have eyes.
they're like, he's such a verbal comedian. That's the like Cantinflas. You need to
Yeah.
know the language.
I see no evidence of real comedic talent here.
He hasn't gone away. Like, what is a comedian who came up? So the movie that we watch, early 80s or mid 80s, some of them?
Yeah.
What comedian that has been in the 80s is still in the public eye in North America now?
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Yes. You know what? Eddie Murphy. So
Yeah.
is he the Eddie Murphy of South Korea?
I don't know. But I would like to hear.
Is there a serious performance from this actor?
Oh, yeah, his Limelight. Let's get that.
Yeah. I would love to see that.
This is a call to our South Korean listeners, if we have any. Like, please write in. I want to hear your thoughts about Shim Hyung-rae.
Yeah.
I want to hear, do you consider him actually funny? Because these movies are for kids, too.
Yeah.
Most of them. I don't know about The Last Godfather, but the other ones are clearly made with kids in mind.
Last Godfather's for the world, Will.
Yeah.
You know, people still have a lot of affinity for Mike Myers, for example.
Yeah.
And, I watch some of his movies and I don't find them very funny.
Austin Powers is a lot more clever than this.
Or
The
like,
Love Guru is a lot more clever than
I married
this.
a max murderer.
Yeah, I mean, again,
You have eyes.
if you're a South Korean listener, please, good or bad, I'm just kind of curious about
Like,
your
what's the
testimony.
position? Yeah.
Yeah. Just tell us more about Shim Hyung-rae because I'm baffled by these films.
And there's so many
There's
of them.
so many of them,
Dude.
and I'm interested.
Yeah.
I want to see more of them.
We're just opening the door.
Yeah.
For we want people to lead us through, maybe crack it even wider.
Yeah.
So please explore the filmography. Tell us, did we miss the classic that people are like? But the thing is, for a filmmaker who's so popular, you would think there'd be more reviews on Letterboxd. But
Yeah.
there's one review from someone in Korean, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder if there's that much nostalgia or affinity for these films.
Yeah.
Well, as per usual, you can send us letters at importantcinemaclubpodcast@gmail.com. And our first letter is from Davis, and he asks, Hello. Recently, I've been sorting through my Letterboxd stats, only to see one of my most watched directors was a filmmaker I had never really heard of, Henry Hathaway. I looked at the films he made and saw that I had seen a good amount of them just through watching old Hollywood noirs and westerns, through random TCM screenings and the Criterion Channel. Has there ever been a filmmaker for you two where you've seen the majority of their films completely by accident? And can the works of Henry Hathaway be seen through an auteurist lens? Or is he strictly a Hollywood journeyman? Thanks for all the episodes.
I can't really speak to Henry Hathaway because
He's just a guy.
I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of his movies too, just because, again, they're kind of Hollywood classics. I know that a lot of people love Henry Hathaway, so they can maybe speak
some of
to
the
him.
auteurs like tried to make a case in the French New Wave, but it like didn't really stick.
But in terms of, I would say some of the Poverty Row directors, like, William Bodine, frankly, but also like there are some guys like Phil Rosen, Lambert Hillier,
Jay Roach.
I love
Swing Vote. Wait, no, he didn't do Swing Vote.
that was Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
That was a
He
Costner.
started. Kevin Costner did not direct Swing Vote.
Oh, you're right.
Some hack directed Swing Vote. No, what was the one that he did that was about votes? Joshua Michael Stern directed Swing Vote, the director of Jobs.
Okay.
But like, I look at directors more often than not.
Here's one who I saw just about all of his movies without ever meaning to. A man by the name of Donald Petrie.
Okay.
You've got Miss Congeniality.
Yes.
You've got Richie Rich. You've got Grumpy Old Man. You've got My Life in Ruins. You've got Welcome to Mooseport. There are a lot of just like hack directors, I would say. There are so many movies where, you just click on, who directed this? And you find out, oh, I've seen every movie they've ever made. That's crazy.
Sorry, I'm laughing here at the list of filmmakers that I've logged. It goes Godfrey Ho, Edmund T. Greville, Martin Scorsese, Chu Yang-ping, Ingmar Bergman, Edward L. Kahn. I've seen the same amount of films directed by all those guys. At least logged on Letterboxd, that is. I'm looking here. There's no one I don't recognize as far as directors go.
Actually, the guy who directed Clones of Bruce Lee. Seems I've seen several of his films, including one that we talked about today.
God, I've seen 9 Umberto Lenzi movies. Oof. Somebody was. Oh wait, who's Kazuya Tsuramaki? I've seen 8 of his films. I do not know. Oh, he's an anime director.
You've probably seen more Umberto Lenzi movies because you probably saw
I just haven't logged them yet.
Even before you had Letterboxd.
Yeah, back in the DVD era, I was like, I guess I'm watching this Umberto Lenzi film and I got nothing else. Orgasmo, this is gonna be good, right?
Yeah.
Where's Trey Parker and Matt Stone? I'm getting ripped off here. Thank you very much for the letter. I'd like to know people in the Discord. Look at your directors. Are there some random people in your Letterboxd stats that you're like, I don't even know who that is? Our next letter is from Steven, and he asks, hey, Justin and Will. I had a great idea for big screen comedic failure episodes. A few weeks ago, I was watching the Mike Myers comedy, So I Married an Axe Murderer, mostly out of nostalgia, because I was born and raised around the San Francisco area. While watching the movie, I had the weirdest realization. Wow, Mike Myers can't play a normal guy. And I thought this would be a great episode for your big screen comedian failures. Comedians who can't play normal leading men.
That's interesting.
Films to consider. Continental Divide, John Belushi. The Majestic, Jim Carrey. Life Stinks, Mel Brooks. Fatso, Dom DeLuise. Can Jim Carrey play a normal man? I guess he does it in the Truman Show.
Not really, though. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a pretty intense. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah, he's a normal person in that one. Yeah. So you got it there.
So it looks like we disproved that thesis.
Gotcha, Steven.
Ouch. Roasted.
But that's actually a good topic. We've had some ideas for big screen comedian failures, including one that I pitched to Will yesterday. He's like, I have a letterbox list about this.
Yeah.
Which was international stars that tried to make
faded American stars who went overseas.
Yes.
So it'd be like Laurel and Hardy doing Atoll K.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah, doing Goose on the Loose.
Jerry Lewis in
those French movies from the 80s. Also Buster Keaton doing, I think, the Boom in the Moon.
See, those movies is really going to work in the mines, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's not
a lot of fun there.
Light at the end of the tunnel of those ones. But maybe, because you mentioned all the old people who went, are there young people who I guess it doesn't really happen, right? Like,
we don't have comedians anymore. They're all podcasters now.
That's right. Or they're buff.
Yeah, or they're buff.
They're funny, strong guys.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, where's the Joe Rogan starring vehicle? Wait, has he starred in a movie?
Well, he was on News Radio.
I know, but did he have like a big screen acting?
We could probably find out, but what I'm gonna say is, folks, write in, tell us, did Joe Rogan star in a movie?
Don't write in. We'll keep saying this. He doesn't read the emails, so he doesn't have to see any of this stuff. Seth Rogen, Joe Rogan. He was in Bright. He was in Zookeeper. He was in It's a Very Muppet Christmas movie from 2002.
Yeah, I think we've answered this question. No,
he has not. As per usual, you can send us letters at importantcinemaclubpodcast@gmail.com. What are we doing on a Patreon this week?
Well, I also want to say what we did on our Patreon last week.
Okay.
Because we did an episode about Looney Tunes comic books from the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Yeah.
and how bad they are.
Wait, they're bad?
Well,
Spoiler alert.
actually, we graded them.
Yes.
You know,
on the laugh scale, 0 to 5.
and Justin did an amazing video essay of this, where you can follow along as we grade, as we try our hand at art criticism.
Yes. If you want, like, as we talk about the covers, you see them, and if we mention pages, you see them. And if we say, look at Elmer's face, he's loving it. There'll be a big close-up of Elmer on the cover.
It's awe-inspiring. Justin outdid himself.
Yeah. You can find that on patreon.com/theimportantcinemaclub.
And this week we decided to keep the quality up.
Yep.
We returned to a subject that we talked about a little while ago, Mr. Bob Hope.
Well, not just Bob Hope, Will.
Well, more stars than in the heavens.
Yep.
We talked also Groucho Marx,
In his last screen role.
George Burns, Don Adams, John Biner, ladies and gentlemen.
Bizarre John Biner?
That's right, because we talked about the 1976 film, question mark, TV special, Joys.
Yep. And this is often described as a parody of Jaws. It is not. It's a parody of, like,
It's been described as the worst thing ever made.
It is a bunch of stars, many of them drunk, none of them under the age of 50, at Bob's house as they get murdered one by one. It's 70 minutes, feels like 300, and we talk about it and all the stars that appear in it.
We had a good time.
Milton Berle in a dual role? Wow!
Now, we have a couple of things that we want to promote, too.
Mm-hmm.
You can see us in person. We have events, okay? You can see
We're
movies.
about town.
That's right. So on Wednesday, November 19th, our screening series, Important Cinema Club Masterpiece Classics, returns to the Fox Theatre in the beautiful East End of Toronto. We are showing, we're showing a Steven Seagal film, but not just any. We're showing his directorial debut, hopefully not his last.
You think he's got another one in him?
Time is running out, but nevertheless, his directorial debut, the incredible 1994 ecological action film On Deadly Ground.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, it's time that we got one of the most eccentric Hollywood visions of all time back on the big screen. What does it take to change the essence of a man?
Well, you can find out if you come see On Deadly Ground at the Fox Theater on
Wednesday, November 19th at 6:45 p.m. We'll be there to introduce.
Great old person's time, 6:45. You'll be in bed before it's even that late.
It's fantastic. Come after work, go back home after, you know.
And if you've been wondering, Justin, I used to love to see you on the stage at the Bloor Cinema in 2010. You used to be there all the time introducing movies. When will you return? Well, I've got some good news.
I'm so excited for this. We're taking part in the Hot Doc Cinema's Truth and Dare program. We are doing a live podcast recording, and we're presenting Leo Carax's new film, It's Not Me, a mind-bending self-portrait film by the great director of Holy Motors. So come see a great film by one of our great contemporary auteurs.
And afterwards, we will be doing a talk.
Yeah, we'll be doing a live recording of some kind where we talk about the film. We talk about self-portrait films in general. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about Carax. Who knows?
Yeah, the Bowery Boys.
The Bowery Boys.
Edgar G. Ulmer.
Ray Dennis Steckler. Yeah. All our guys. So yeah, we'll do that, and I think it'll be fun. You know.
Yep. So check that out.
So high and low.
Yep.
We got
On Deadly Ground
and
on November 19th.
And on November 29th.
It's Not Me, and us doing a podcast live. So if you're in Toronto, we better see you at both of those.
Yeah.
There's a big break between them, so you're good.
Have you ever looked back at like Paris in the 20s and you've said, boy, wouldn't it have been nice to... Well, that is now, okay?
Yeah,
the future version
you're alive
of that.
now.
Yeah, the future version of that. Have you ever wanted to be like, in New York in the post-war era when all those artists were working? Have you ever wanted to be back at the desk when, I don't know, Shakespeare was writing Romeo and Juliet? Well, the modern equivalent of that is now. You can see it.
Also, clear your schedule in December every day. Because we have to do something at some point.
We'll have to do something because
not only is it the holidays, it's the 10-year anniversary of the Important Cinema Club.
Can you believe it?
A decade of dreams. That's what the blank check has been saying this year. So, but we're much less on the pay scale.
Do we have the same birthday as them, basically?
Basically, yes.
Wow.
I mean, we're basically peers, right?
I think so.
Yep.
Some say we're better. I don't know.
But listen, could we become worse if we made half of the money that they made? Would that be a devil's bargain that we would make?
I would love to find out.
Yes. So, this episode is brought to you by Stamps.com. Pow, biff, I shit my pants.
Stamps.com. Now it's all like boner pills.
Yeah, that's right.
Boner pills and gambling apps.
We will never do an ad for gambling apps. But that's something I cannot do.
I completely agree. We've never even done an ad.
No, wait, have we never done other than our stuff?
I think it's just our stuff.
Yeah.
Unless
no one has ever paid us for anything.
Yeah.
Because we throw that money away. Also, the emails I get look like they're spam emails, so I read them and I go, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Unless it's a lot of money. Put that on the subject line.
That's right.
And me and Will are there.
We can be bought.
Easily. So, next week, what are we doing, Will?
International Month.
Nothing but laughs.
Nothing but laughs November.
Worldwide.
International. Worldwide. We'll settle on the name.
It's Nothing But Laughs Worldwide, period.
Well, it's Nothing But Laughs November.
Nothing But Laughs November Worldwide. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are going to...
When they're writing the big tome, they need to be able to get it right.
We are going to turn our attention. We're going to hop on a plane from South Korea to India. We're going to land in India, and then we're going to walk all the way to Mr. Raj Kapoor.
Mm-hmm.
Often...
The chaplain of India.
You took the words right out of my mouth. The chaplain of India. We are going to watch, at least 2 films. We're going to talk about Shri 420, and we're going to talk about Mera Naam Joker. We may talk about another one. These are long movies.
They're long movies, yes.
But
Have you seen a Raj? I've never seen one.
I saw half of Mera Naam Joker some years ago,
Okay.
and I think I fell asleep, which is I just fall asleep all the time.
Yeah.
It's fine. So I really just want to learn more about Raj Kapoor. He's a bit of a blind spot for me. So yeah, one of India's greatest filmmakers, so they say. And
we'll be the judge of that.
yeah. I mean, we talked about one of South Korea's greatest filmmakers.
I don't think they would call him one of his greatest filmmakers.
Yeah,
One of the
he's-
most popular comedians.
Yeah, he's part of the South Korean New Wave. You know, you got Park Chan-wook. Okay, you got Hong Sang-soo. You got Bong Joon-ho. And you got...
The director of D-Ward. All right, that's what we're doing next week. Until then, my name's Justin Decloux.
I'm Will Sloan.
Thanks for listening. As per usual, I would like to thank some of our new patrons who include Covey M, Ken Nichols, Gabriel Goldman, Mike McCollum, Ryan, Tyler P, Ian Clark, Joe Probus, Kate Hotakowski, Rita May, Michael Zambrotsky, Alan Brooks, Parker Houston, Callan Barth, Nathan, and Daniel Ackerman. Thank you very much for all becoming patrons. We could not keep doing this without you.
Justin, right now, emergency, give me your top 5 Godzilla movies.
Godzilla Final Wars, Godzilla versus Hedorah,
Also known as...
Godzilla versus Smog Monster, Godzilla's Revenge.
Oh, nice pick.
Yep.
What can I pause on that? Why Godzilla's Revenge? Because for years, that was considered one of the worst ones.
Because you have all the best stuff from all the Godzilla movies of the 70s in one package.
It's a stock footage romp.
And you got, most importantly, hey everybody, it's me, Manila.
So you like the dubbed version.
I love the dub version of this movie. Oh no, it's
No.
Gabra.
Oh, it's Godzilla. He
Yeah.
wants me to fight.
I recently went to a...
So that's 4.
Yeah. Oh, I need a 5th one? I've made a list. When I watched them all for our, whatever...
I don't care about the list. I want knee jerk. I want what you're feeling.
I can't even remember any of the Godzilla movies.
That even better.
Did I say the first Godzilla? Just throw that one on there.
Okay.
It's such a boring pick.
Yeah.
All right, what are your top 5?
So I'm going to make Godzilla 54 a free space.
Yeah, okay. So that's like the bingo right in the middle.
Yeah. So I think Godzilla versus Mothra, because it's the perfect version of
Yeah.
that kind of movie.
Yep.
Okay, so that's one. Yeah, let's say Godzilla Final Wars, because it's just really good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, Godzilla versus Destroyer. I really like that one too.
That one's really good.
Yeah.
But aside from those two, I find myself reaching for the Jun Fukuda ones. So it's
But is it because you have nostalgia of seeing them as children?
probably, but I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
it's like I'm putting Megalon on here.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Megalon.
I know, you love Godzilla versus Megalon.
And it's a pretty bad film in a lot of ways. Actually, I take that back. It's a great film.
Yep.
I want to put Godzilla 85, but I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
I think Terror of Mechagodzilla is pretty great.
Oh, I love Terror Mechagodzilla.
What I love about Terror of Mechagodzilla is it's the perfect synthesis of Fukuda and Ishiro Honda.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And then Hedorah.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Hedorah. Yeah, so that's my 5.
I'm not... So, people... What are the ones that people are like, how come you don't have Godzilla versus Biollante on your list? What I would say to that is, that movie has so many slow parts in it.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, some might say, what about Shin Godzilla?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And it's great.
It's like Godzilla Final Wars, and then there were no more Godzilla movies, right?
Yeah, I guess kind of, because that's when we were discovering these movies, you know? But no, I would say my list is purely vibes based. It's purely like, what am I reaching for?
Yeah.
You know?
Is it because you recently decided to explore some Godzilla? Is that why?
I threw on Godzilla versus Gigan on the Criterion Channel. Hadn't seen it in a while. Great film.
Now, my heart was broken is that I reached for my Laserdisc player, and it is also broken. It doesn't work. The tray will not open. And I was looking online, and they said, like, yeah, that's the main failure point for most Laserdisc players, like the tray, because it's like a rubber thing. It doesn't. It's like, you can open it and fix it. I was like, you got to buy parts and stuff. I'm like, it's not going to happen. If I'm going to do anything, I'll buy a Laserdisc player. I'm surprised you don't own one.
I would love a Laserdisc player. It's just a matter of they're kind of expensive.
Yeah, I went to a show that Emily was doing, and I wandered into a Value Village in like the east end of town. There was a Laserdisc player there, and I came back the next day. It was gone. I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't carry it when I was seeing a show.
Whenever I'm in a Value Village,
you always go.
I always look for a Laserdisc player.
Yeah,
and it's never there.
The chances are they're probably broke. And how your heart probably raises a little bit when you're like, oh, that's a CD changer, because they look like Laserdisc players, but they're not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You read my mind.
You would think there'd be more, considering that it's from the 90s. It's not that long ago.
Yeah, I think not a lot of people had them.
Yeah.
And those that do have them are holding on to them because they're vintage.
So here's the thing. If people want to send us a Laserdisc player.
Yeah, please. We've got a P.O. box, right?
Yep, we do. It's on the description here. I have been wanting to like do a Laserdisc month so bad. Speaking of Godzillas, because I have the edits of the Godzilla films that are not available anywhere. And here's the thing. Someone sends me a Laserdisc player, I will scan or like do transfers, because I have the technology of all those Godzilla movies, and they will be shared in the Discord.
Okay, so what Justin is talking about is in the 70s, Toho used to have this like Hero Super Festival.
It was called Champion Festival.
Right, where they would play like edited 1-hour versions of the Godzilla movies.
That were edited by Ishiro Honda. And unfortunately, Toho edited the negatives of the film, which made remastering them very difficult because they cut them up.
That's painful.
And those hour-long versions have not been available. They're not online that I could find. They were just released on Laserdisc, and I have the box set. I have all the films ready to be captured, which I was going to do. I even took the cables out to be like, oh, I'll put this on the computer, and I can share it afterwards. Gone.
Okay.
Because my Laserdisc doesn't work anymore. But I have the discs.
Well,
so.
we'll get another Laserdisc player.
Is there any, I mean, I did look into, do we watch Mrs. Doubtfire on Laserdisc? Which films would be elevated by watching them on, like a different experience?
I think Hong Kong movies of the 90s would be great on Laserdisc.
Now, also, The Phantom Menace. I have a Laserdisc of that from Japan.
I have some like old Criterion Laserdiscs that I think would be fun, like The Killer, you know?
Here's the thing. If people don't know, Laserdiscs look different than DVD. Or VHS. They've got their own texture all on their own.
This is good stuff.
So are you going down the Godzilla rabbit hole, though? Are you going to watch more of them if you're in that mood?
I just might, you know? I just love being with my buddy, you know?
So I went to an event that was put on by a toy company that's in Toronto, Seismic Toys. Oh, I actually have the toy. It's right behind you, Will. The gigantic, speaking of Shin Godzilla.
Oh, look at this. You should see Justin's room here. It's loaded with little plastic buddies.
It is. So in the Ultraman movie, there's a joke where in the original Ultraman TV show, they recycled the Godzilla costume twice, and one of them has like horns and like just to make it look different enough.
Right.
And in the Shin Ultraman movie, they had the Shin Godzilla in that look. And this company made that toy. And I got the glow-in-the-dark version of it. So
it's beautiful.
It's very cool. Anyway, I didn't know these guys were in Toronto, and they put on a thing at Eyesore Cinema where it was a little kaiju market. There was a woman dressed as one of the
Peanuts?
What? No, it was the big black things that they have, the aliens in Invasion of the Astro Monsters, I think.
Oh, yeah.
From Planet X?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
I know you're Planet X.
Yeah, she was dressed like that. They had all their toys. And I have never met people who, like, everything you'll mention to them, you're like, oh, did you know that? They're like, yeah, I knew this. Because they knew everything about these movies.
Back when we were teenagers, nobody knew. Nobody knew.
And the wild thing is, they showed Godzilla's Revenge, and the room was packed. There was no more seats.
You know what I like about how, kaiju fandom has evolved in the West? Mm-hmm. Back when we were younger, back when we were like teens reading about this, all the old monster guys like Steve Rifle, like Stuart Galbraith,
the movies got dumb. They're bad.
They're like, the only good ones are the first one and versus Mothra.
And Destroy All Monsters. That one's good too.
And then all the Fukuda ones is bad. It's like Godzilla puts his tail between his legs and he flies. That's dumb. Mm-hmm. And now all Godzillas are beautiful.
People love them. They were laughing, but it didn't sound like Mystery Science Theater 3000 laughs. Like, everyone that was there because they loved these things.
That's right.
And they could experience them with the crowd. That's another promise. We need to figure out how we can get to G-Fest. That's something we've never done, and I would love to visit there.
Yeah.
So, G-Fest, if you're listening.
If you want to fly us out.
Hey, we'll do a panel about what?
Well, we've already established that we don't know as much as these kids know.
No, and they're much younger than us too, as well. The guy made a video game that I picked up called Dawn of the Monsters. He's like, "Oh yeah, my main job is making video games," and I'm like, "These games have so many references in them of all the monsters." It's like, as a kid, imagining that this would exist was just foreign to me, and now, beautiful, packed room. They're showing Godzilla's Revenge. Toys out the wazoo, people dressed up. The dream was alive today.
I have tears in my eyes.